Trump bans Palestinians, South Sudanese, and Syrians from traveling to the United States of America. Now, you may wonder why. Put it up full mass here. Gives you an indication. The Trump administration announced yesterday new travel restrictions and travel limitations. A little bit of a difference on individuals holding Palestinian Authority issued travel documents. That is your governing authority for the travel document. The U.S. travel ban will be expanded to include 39 countries. Donald Trump on Tuesday signed a proclamation expanding the list of countries with full or partial travel restrictions to 39, increasing from the previous list of 19 countries, according to the White House. The proclamation adds 7 new countries, including Sierra Leone, Niger, South Sudan, Syria, and others. The expanded list also includes 15 new countries facing partial restrictions. Among them, Nigeria, Zambia, Zimbabwe, you get the picture, Cote d'Ivoire, and more. Nationals of countries on the list face restrictions on travel to the United States. So the nationals of those countries, according to the White House, they said the list demonstrates, quote, severe deficiencies in screening, vetting, and information sharing, end quote. Let's talk about the restrictions on Palestinians. The Tuesday proclamation also applies travel limitations on individuals holding Palestinian Authority issued travel documents, and it lifts a ban on non-immigrant visas for citizens of Turkmenistan, quote, while still maintaining suspended entry for Turkmen nationals. The proclamation makes exception for lawful permanent residents, those with existing visas, certain visa categories, and individuals whose entry serves U.S. national interests. What they're doing is saying they want to provide opportunity for them to pick and choose whom they would like to still come into the United States of America, so they provide themselves access to do so. The expansion of the list, however, comes as Trump has ramped up his immigration crackdown, as he calls it, citing the shootings in Washington, D.C. as the reason. We already knew the fix was in once the narrative started to spin. He's not a complex political angler. He utilizes a tragedy, regardless of the facts of that tragedy, in order to spin his new political agenda that he wanted to bring to the masses anyway. This is just the latest. So Trump has now halted or significantly tightened every legal and illegal form of foreign entry into the US, in addition to his ongoing mass deportation campaign. Other policy shifts include a pause on asylum decisions, completely legal asylum, a review of cases under the Biden administration, meaning he's pausing that to create a re-examination of certain green card holders. If you are a green card holder, you are thus legal. When he decided to make the extreme proclamation of deporting the worst among us, deporting the criminals, mass deportation, in his rhetoric, he did not sell to MAGA that he would be, in fact, deporting individuals of legal status or deciding to limit or outright ban legal entry into the United States of America, or perhaps even go after individuals who had a non-violent misdemeanor like a traffic ticket or a speeding citation. Kicking them out of the country was not part of the plan. At least it wasn't part of the political proclamation. But now that it is part of his policy dynamic, how many in MAGA are willing to stand up against it, because this wasn't what he promised you. There's more. This is a reminder. In Trump's first term, Trump banned travelers from 7 countries. If you remember, those countries were what? Majority Muslim. He banned them from coming into the United States, a policy that saw court challenges. The Supreme Court upheld the third version of Trump's travel ban, meaning the first 2 were illegal, that was issued in 2017. It restricted in varying degrees individuals from Iran, North Korea, Syria, Libya, Yemen, Somalia, and Venezuela. At the root of these policies, racism. That's at the root of the policy. Regardless of your belief in immigration reform, what side or what level of immigration reform you may subscribe to, this is extreme and bigoted. It starts with the said country, and they place a policy reason on top of it. Jamie, thoughts?
You hit the nail on the head there. It certainly is red meat to the racist base. We have tens of millions of undocumented immigrants in this nation, and Donald Trump campaigned essentially on deporting them all, which is an impossible task. He knew it then. We knew it then. His voting base believed him, and now that I think his numbers of deportation are right at 350,000, which is nowhere near 10 million. And his base is starting to get pissed off. So instead of being honest and saying, look, immigration is a complicated process, to eject these people will come with undue strain on our nation, he's doing this performative nonsense, which is picking out black and brown countries and saying that these people are no longer allowed to come here to sort of calm down his base and obfuscate from the fact that he is not doing what he got elected to do, which is keeping us all safe. Another thing, these, show us the data that suggests that people, Palestinians and Somalians are disproportionately violent. Show us that data. Because what we do have in this country is domestic terrorism every time you turn around. There's school shootings left, right, and center. Brown University just happened. And now we have people who are becoming double victims of school shootings. There was a Parkland survivor who lived through the Parkland massacre and survived the massacre at Brown University. So show us solutions to those real problems where there are real violent criminals who have too easy access to guns in this country that are not immigrants. But instead of doing that, he's got to throw the red meat.
Yeah, and what he has also successfully done in the process of this is transform the narrative. No one is really talking about Jeffrey Epstein to the same level in mass media. And he's attempting to transform that narrative so that he's not the target of the Epstein files anymore. I don't believe it will work, but he's definitely attempting to do anything he can do in order to distract from the reality of his involvement in Epstein.